Good evening and welcome to our fifth summer concert by the Virginia City Band. Our Avenue of Flags is up there by the fountain. If you could look through and rise for the Star Spangled Banner, please. That particular march that we started the concert off with is called Entry of the Gladiators. Sometimes it's called Thunder and Blazes. It also has a big fancy Czechoslovakian name that I'm not going to even try to say. But it's written by Julius Fusik, who is considered a March King, but not the March King of the United States, who is Sousa, of course. He was born in Prague. He studied with Dvorak, the New World Symphony composer. So quite a accomplished musician. He this particular march, of course, is used in our country quite a bit with circuses. We're going to continue our program with another one from over that area. It's called Trish Trash Polka, and Johann Strauss. And I wish I had, about 20 years ago, and when I was teaching in town, I had an exchange student from Germany, and he gave the whole speech on the Strausses, of which there's several of them. There's like 150 years of them, and he had it all. He did it pretty much in German, and what he didn't do in German, he did it with a strong German accent. It was the hit of the concert. But the Strausses were going, like I said, for 150 years. Actually, what trash means in German is chit chat. It's a bunch of people. I won't say females or males or anything like that, but on the street corners, basically gossiping, right? So, Trish Trash Polka. I guess if we had to give credit to how the jazz era got started, it would be given to our country, the United States, cities like Chicago and St. Louis, New Orleans, and New York, eventually Los Angeles, etc. So I just feel it's a part of our heritage, and the modern thing in with the bands, they try to bring music from all different eras, all different countries, and that's part of how they're instructed to teach their class. And so we're going to continue with, it's called Big Bands in Concert. It's a Bob Loudon arrangement. You're going to hear A String of Pearls, Satin Doll that Duke made pretty famous, and intermission riff, Sophisticated Lady, nice slow one, and then it finishes with Opus 1. Big Bands in Concert by Bob Loudon. little pitch for the Northern Lights groups that are going on. There's been a ton of advertising, just times and everything are well done in the papers, etc. So double check. You probably will want to tomorrow night at Mesabi East, or on Sunday afternoon, which sounds kind of neat, at the Iron World, or as we call it now, the Discovery Center. I still call it Iron World, but that's all right. The opera is going on, and I just got the pronunciation of it. First of all, it can hardly be bad. It was written by Rossini. He's never written anything bad, so it's got to be good. If you don't quite have Italian memorized and know all the words in Italian, etc., when those love songs are going on the stage, they do flash them up so you know what's happening. So that's at 7 o'clock tomorrow night and 3:30 at the Discovery Center at Iron World. Okay? Well, you will want to see that. Next week, of course, is Ryan will talk a little more about that, but as our 6th concert of the year, and we always get our local shortstops and Phil here to supply some goodies. So make sure you show up for that one. You don't want to miss it. Spanish Fever is next. We've done this before. It's just a kind of a flamenco style, a Latin jazz, a different kind of jazz than some of the swing stuff we heard in that. It's got there's one album that was made with this particular piece, and Maynard Ferguson, of course, the high trumpet player, was featured on it, and we've got some nice percussion stuff going on here. Spanish Fever. We'll finish off the first half of the concert with a march that's we've done before, and it's fairly popular. It's called Under the Double Eagle. It's by J.F. Wagner, I'm not sure. It is European, so in the 1880s, etc. So we've covered music from mostly 1800s, 1900s. That one almost gets up into that we just finished gets up to 1978. So I think that's the latest one. But we've got newer stuff coming up in the second half. Under the Double Eagle.
And just in case you're not marched out, we have a couple more for you, so I know you'd like that. Next up is the Gallant 7th March by John Philip Sousa, the March King. And this particular march was Sousa's 101st march that he wrote, and it premiered in 1922. It's called the Gallant 7th because there were regimental parts, part of a military band. The 7th Regiment Army Band accompanied Sousa's ensemble for this original performance. And the story goes that Sousa had several band members that left. This was during the time of World War I, so they left to enlist, and then not all of them came back after the war, and they stayed in this 7th Regiment band. And so he had a connection to those people. He wrote a march for them and then collaborated with them on this particular piece of music. As I was conducting that, another thought popped into my head about this last march you just heard. Frederick Fennell, who was kind of the music historian who was really knew pretty much everything there was to know about Sousa, he commented in this during my research. I read that he commented that this is one of Sousa's longest marches because of the number of the repeats and the length of each section. And as I was conducting, like, wow, this one's going a while. And I'm sure the band members behind me kind of were like, is this done yet? So I thought of that as we were going. I was like, yep, that is one of his more lengthy marches. Next up, something quite a bit different, something to show a little more of our sensitive side, In Heaven's Air by Samuel Hazo. This piece was commissioned by a college band director, and I can't recall who at the moment, not important, but it was written to help this person cope with the sudden passing of his mother. The title was taken from a Shakespearean sonnet, and this piece really highlights how sensitive and musical we can be. Kind of the subject matter is not the happiest, but out of that loss comes acceptance and being happy with the memories we have. In Heaven's Air. change the mood up on you again here with the Russian Sailor's Dance by Reinhold Glier. This music comes from a ballet called The Red Poppy. It was written by Glier in 1927, and the ballet was really not famous. It didn't get very much widespread success, but this particular piece that came from it is well known, and it's what Glier has become best known for. And the thing about this song is it's really a challenge for us to see how fast can we go, how much can we put the pedal to the metal tonight. We'll see. Second to last on our program is the English Folk Song Suite by Rafe Vaughan Williams. And this is a 3-movement piece, and unfortunately we don't have time or probably the energy to do all 3. So we're just going to stick with the 3rd movement, the March, which are folk songs from Somerset. So this was one of Vaughan Williams' most famous works, maybe it was his favorite, I don't know honestly, but it was published in 1923. And if you were here last week for my mini lecture on Holst and the importance of the first suite, why that's important for us band members, this piece is like kind of in that same vein, in that same time era, trying to show that bands could be musical and professional and just as good as other musical ensembles. There are folk songs in this march, and so you might hear a few English folk songs that you recognize within. I think there's 3 or 4 different folk songs within this march that you will hear. as Bill mentioned earlier, that this next week will be our season finale, our 6th concert, and this is the one with all the treats. So even before the concert starts, they'll be here handing out the ice cream and pop. So you'll want to make sure you're here, bring a friend, and enjoy some treats while you listen to our last concert. And it'll be a fun, a little more lighthearted musical selection. So hope you're here next week to enjoy that with us. The last piece on our program this evening, we're going to go back to the jazz realm with music from The Incredibles. The Incredibles, if you are unaware, is a 2004 Disney Pixar movie, and then they made a sequel not too long ago. It's set in the middle of the 20th century, features a very jazz-heavy score, and one of the ways they made that sound very authentic when they were recording for the movie is rather than using digital audio recording, they used analog recording technology. So the old cassette tapes and the like that I'm sure we all remember, at least most of us remember. So it kind of has the sound of that era. I thought that was a really cool tidbit about how they really got into the era. And this has won many awards for Best Film Score. It's fun to play. Hopefully it's fun to listen to as well. Thank you again for coming, and we hope to see you next week for our last show.